Hello and welcome to another video from Real Therapy Fishing.
Today we're going to be cooking some fish cakes. So we all hate whiting, don't we? You know, we all hate catching them, but sometimes they save us from a blank on a fishing trip. But most of us, we just throw them back. We don't know what to do with them, and to be fair, they are a very bony fish. But today we're going to make some fish cakes, like I just mentioned. And we've got some whiting here that Dylan actually caught, didn't you? A couple of, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We put them in the freezer, and you gutted them before we put them in. And then, yeah, we've basically got them out, defrosted them, and we're going to turn them now into some fish cakes. So what I'm going to do, first job is to obviously fillet the fish. So we'll take one out. You don't need to worry about taking all the fins and stuff off. Just go in, what you need is a nice sort of bendy knife if you can get one. Go in behind the gill there and cut down that side, turn it over, and then do exactly the same that side. That's sort of basically got the head almost away from the fish. And then you've got a natural spine down there, obviously, of the fish. And we need to come this side of these are the fillets, obviously. We need to come this side of the spine. So we'll go in there with the knife, get ourselves started, lay the fish flat, and then go in there and just cut along close to the spine as you possibly can. When you get to about here, push the knife right through and then just bring that completely away. That's giving us that section you can see there. Then it's just a case of keeping the knife as close to the spine as you possibly can and putting the flesh away as you go. Okay, obviously you don't, I mean these ones are quite small, these fillets, but we've got a fair few of them, so we're gonna be able to make ourselves a decent meal there. Now the thing with whiting is, like I mentioned, the bones. There's quite a lot of them on here, and they start here with the rib, where the rib bit is. So if we just go in there and just come across and just cut that bit completely away. Okay. And what we do is we'll do the other side and the other fillets as well. So they look quite small. They're not a lot. I mean, not a lot of meat on them, but like I say, you know, you can catch God knows how many of these on a fishing trip. And it's a shame to throw them back, to be honest. Okay, so I've got the second fillet off that side. Didn't come off as clean, but like I said, there's no wastage because you can use all of this for chum. You've seen us in one of our previous videos making chum. I mean, it's not an oily fish, so it won't be a great attractor, but once this is all chomped up and all these little bits and pieces, all these little particles are in the water, obviously it's going to attract the fish, you know. So, and again, if you wanted to, if I just break that, you can use the head as a bait as well. Put your hook in, and yeah, you can use that as a bait as well. So no wastage, just use it all up, you know. That's all fine. So I'm going to crack on, fillet the rest of these, and then we'll move to the next process. So guys, I've got these fillets off of the whiting. I've put some milk on to boil. You only need a little bit really, just enough to cover the fillets of the fish. And I'm just going to place them now in there. I mean, it's just coming up to the boil now. It doesn't really matter too much. I'm just going to place these in here. Leave the skin on, doesn't matter. We can take that off after it's cooked. So we just place them in there. And we'll bring it up to the boil, switch it off, give it a couple of minutes just in the in the milk, and then yep, we'll move to the next process. Okay, so the fish has obviously had its couple of minutes extra in there now. You can see it is nicely cooked. Again, not too well done. You don't want them fillets or the little flakes of fish actually coming away from the skin. So we're just going to take them out now. Place them on a plate there, and we can let them cool down. I've broke one there, but okay. Okay, we'll just leave them there now to cool down enough, just so we can break away the flakes of fish from the skin that's underneath there, which we won't be using obviously. So we'll just put that to the side, and we'll move on to the next process. Right guys, so the fish has sort of had a bit of cooling time, so we're just going to basically take the skin away from the fish. Okay, like that. We don't need them bits. Take them all off, and there are nice flakes of whiting. So as you can see, all the skin has now been removed. I mean, you can skim the fillets before you poach them. The only problem with that is that you might end up, these might all flake up like they have now inside the milk, and then you've then got the process of straining that all through, and you might end up with a bit of a problem. So that's what I've done. I find it easier that way. Obviously, you know, you might have your own version, your own way of doing it, but it works for us. So right, the next stage, we've cooked some potatoes, some mashed potato there. There's just a couple of big potatoes that we've done. Just basically mashed them down, some salt and pepper, and we're going to add a little bit more as well anyway, and a little bit of the milk from the poaching the fish. If you put a little bit of that in there as well, instead of adding you know, as you would normally make mashed potatoes with a bit of butter and cream or butter and milk, just add a little bit of fish milk. It just gives it a little bit of extra flavour, so that's another good thing to do. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit more salt and some pepper into that. Okay, and then we're going to get our fish, just flake that into the mashed potato, like so. And to be fair, I mean, we only had four whiting that we you know, initially used. I mean, crikey, I mean, we've you know, sometimes when we go fishing, we catch sort of, you know, between sort of 10, 20, sometimes even 30 whiting, you know. So, and that's what that's produced, you know, them four fish, and they were legal size, but they weren't the biggest of and the fattest of whiting that we have caught before. So just goes to show you actually that there's a you know, a fair amount of meat there, and you can turn into fish cakes or anything else really. So, you know, it's well worth the thought of keeping the whiting and using them, you know. So right, anyway, so we'll move on. We're just going to mix the mashed potato in with the fish. There's a bit of skin there. Just mix that all in. I mean, you will get little bits of the skin because obviously it's hard to pick it all out, but I mean, it does it again. Most people eat the skin and the fish anyway, so as long as there isn't big massive lumps in there, you'll be fine. So right, so that's mixed thoroughly. What I do like to do, I like to add dill to mine. Just gives it a little bit of extra flavour. So just a little packet of dill, just a little handful like that, that'd be more than enough. Just scrunch it up, give it a quick chop, and in with the mashed potato and the whiting. Okay, right, let's move that aside. Okay, so the next process is to actually turn these into fish cakes. So again, we're just going to mix that all up, make sure the dill and everything else is thoroughly combined, and then you want to grab size of a tennis ball, I suppose, really. And just squeeze that together, like so. So you've got that sort of a shape. It doesn't have to be perfect, but... And then just flatten it down. And as you do that as well, just mould it round into, you know, you want to get a nice sort of shape like that. So, okay, that'll be perfect. They don't have to be, well, they don't have to be perfect, but that's what we, you know, that's what we're looking for. So that sort of shape. So we'll just make another one. Again, about the same sort of size of tennis ball. Flatten it off. Just make it into like an ice puck. Same sort of size as a ice hockey puck. That'll do. Okay, so we've got another one there. We can make another one, but I'm just going to make the two because I just want to show you basically how to finish them off. Okay guys, there's a couple of ways to do fish cakes. I mean, personally I love them deep fried, breadcrumbs, and that's the way I love them. But you can just pan fry these if you wanted to. Just put them through a little bit of flour, pan fry them in a little bit of oil and butter, and amazing, they're lovely just as they are. Again, we've just done these basic today. You can put salmon in with them, a bit of cod, you can put bit of pancetta, you can do, there's so many different varieties of fish cake, but again it was just the process of showing you how to use the whiting just for, you know, just to use them, and rather than throwing them back. Obviously if you get them out of the sea we can catch more cod. Right, so yeah, we're gonna, so first of all I've just got some plain flour there. I've put some salt and pepper in there as well, so we're just going to put that, move that fork out. Okay. Just going to put that straight into the flour. Okay, just give it a light dusting. Doesn't have to be perfect again. And that one can go in the egg. I've just got one egg in there. That's enough to do 2 fish cakes, no problem at all. So just roll that fish cake over, and as you can see it's just fully coated there, and then into the breadcrumb, and then just basically flip it over. Just roll it around and make sure it's nicely covered. Again, just give it a little push down just so them breadcrumbs do stick well. And that's our first one done. That does look rather nice. Okay, so the second one into the flour. Give it a roll round, make sure it's all covered as much as possible. Back through the egg. And then into the breadcrumb. And again a little push down just to make sure they're nicely covered and they'll stick well. Okay, and there we have 2 fish cakes ready to deep fry. Again, that's how I like them done, so we're going to do it that way today. I've just put a pan of oil on to heat up as well. It's just vegetable oil, nothing fancy. We're just going to wait for that to heat up a little bit, and then we'll fry these fish cakes and we'll enjoy the finished product. One thing I did forget to tell you about the fish cakes, well the mashed potato in more, to be more specific, was that once it's cooked, let that cool down a little bit. Don't let it go completely cold if you can help it. It just helps to, you know, bind it together when you do make them. And yeah, it's just a better way of doing it. So, okay, I'm going to get rid of this. The oil's hot enough now. I've just tested it with a little bit of potato, a little bit of crumb we put in there as well. And we're just going to place these in there. I mean, the best way to do this really would be to get a proper deep fat fryer. It's obviously a lot safer way of doing it, but I just wanted to show you this way. Okay. I know we'll only probably take a couple of minutes, I reckon. Won't be much more than that. Just let them sit in there for a bit. Okay, you can see that crumb now just starting to go golden brown. That's what we're looking for. Okay, they look nearly there now, so I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm just going to get a plate to put them onto, and we'll serve them up. Alright guys, there's our finished product. Nice fish cakes. And we've got a little bit of tartar sauce and some lemon wedges there. So, do you want to have a little try, Dylan? See what they like? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to squeeze a bit of lemon on my one.
I like a bit of tartar sauce.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Oh,
Nice.
they are good.
Yeah. Simple way to use your whiting. You know.
That is very good.
I do like them with salmon in as well, I must admit. But
Yeah, a bit
again,
on the fish. Bulk it
yeah,
up.
just yep, very nice. So just gives you an idea of what you can do, and yeah, don't throw them back. Use them.
Yeah. Means we can catch other species.
That's it. Yeah. And as I've done all the cooking, Dylan's now going to wash up.
Oh,
So
great.
yeah,
Like that, is it?
yeah, it's like that. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, we'll leave you with that one, and we'll see you on our next video. Hopefully, see you soon. Take care. Stay safe as always.
We'll see you next time.
Cheerio.